Hey everybody, Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a bit. I sort of had an involuntary hiatus there, just with life in general. We'll get into that in this video. So yeah, where to begin? Last video I did was talking about 3D printing and my view on where it stands within the hobby now. And thank you very much. It was a really, for me at least, a well done video. It got lots of views and all that. And but with everything that's gone on, May and so far June has been very, very busy. I started off with some medical stuff, then kids and extracurriculars. I had to go to a wedding in Toronto at one point. And then just recently, unfortunately, there was a passing in my family. So I had to go out of town for that as well. It's just been sort of, and work was insane. It's been super insane at work. So all that sort of steamrolled into May and most of June, just being unable, trying to get some extra sleep, traveling around a lot. It's one of those things, life just sort of gets super busy for a while and you kind of just got to hold on for your dear life. That being said, excuse me. Whew. I did get some hobby time in. So all that stuff, or not hobby time, gaming time. I had a number of games during that point. The last two of which I actually won the games. So not that I'm counting wins and losses, but it was nice to see my growth as a gamer as well. Started back again in January and played a number of games. I've used both my Ultramarines and my Black Templars. The first games I won was for my Ultramarines, and that was a really cool game. It was a lot of fun. I used my Hellblasters and my Ballistus Dread. They're not painted yet, unfortunately, but they're based. I was able to use them in a battle, replacing some of the old stuff, which again went to sort of my understanding but gripe that the old stuff sucks, new stuff is better, and it's kind of been made that way, tailored that way. But yeah, it was a great game. That one I have to give credit, part of that, to my opponent's rules being really, really bad that entire game. Not that he did anything wrong, he did everything that he should have, but his rolls were just not good. So I think my things like my Ballistus Dread, my Predator tank, even things that my aggressors lived a lot longer with the amount of firepower he's putting out. They just lived longer than they should have. He just wasn't putting out the damage. He was using that one was one of the new formations that came out over Christmas for the Tau, that experimental cadre, I believe that's what it was. Yeah, they get an extra 6 inches to the range and a bunch of extra cool stratagems that make them extra deadly. And it is a pretty deadly list. He just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I've been there. I think we've all been there at one point or another. The second game I won was my Black Templars. And that one, I feel kind of off about that army right now because it has unintentionally sort of hit some of the meta stuff. It's a list I built a long time ago, back in 4th edition. And it really hasn't changed much. I've taken out the Chaplain model and the Emperor's Champion, the scratch built one I made, just because they're on the wrong size bases. They don't exist anymore in those particular things. I did paint up. I took a easy build Space Marine hat and built him into a Castellan, which is the Black Templar version of a Lieutenant. But other than that, it was 2 Crusader squads, 2 5-man Crusader squads, one with bolters. The other one had a Power Fist, Flamer, and a power weapon, and that's one the Castellan went with. I had 2 Terminator squads, one of the standard Terminators, an Assault, and then 2 Vindicators. I know Vindicators are really big now. Terminators are dead hard right now, especially if the Assault ones, they get the extra wound because of the big storm shields. 4+ armor, or invulnerable saves. Even the Storm Bolters being AP0, that's a lot of firepower they put up close. And Vindicators just do a lot of damage. And they can take a pounding too. So it does feel very meta, but again, I built this army a long time ago, way back in 4th edition. But that one went really well as well. And thanks to those Vindicators and Terminators, I was able to put a massive dent in my friend's Tau army, and he loves his Tau, and they're a really good army, and he's got a big enough army that can build different detachments. He has his auxiliary cadre, which is really painful if you get hit by it. It's very powerful, very well put together. This time he went with the, I can't remember which one he went. He went basically all suits the last game, which was, he had Farsight with him, a lot of suits. Thankfully, the Terminators can put out a good punch, and the Vindicators can hurt those suits really well, and that's kind of what did it for me. I think it's probably one of those fun games I had. Every vehicle that we had exploded. Both my Vindicators went up, caused mortal wounds on his units and on mine. It got to the point when my my Assault Terminators hit his Hammerhead, which, by the way, rail cannons hurt. He one-shotted one of my Vindicators and finished off the other Vindicator with the same vehicle. The Terminators finally finished him off. They survived thanks to that 4+ and Ron will say, but those rail cannons just hurt. But when they exploded, he wanted to continue this trend of mortal wounds. He actually used command reroll to try and re-roll the Deadly Demise. Still no mortal wounds off it. He wanted to, but it was great. That's one of the things I love about these games I have with this particular friend of mine. They're fun. We're playing right now on a smaller table, so we kind of get rid of secondaries and stuff like that, but we're using pretty much everything else. But they've been fun games. Neither one of us is really too concerned with the actual winning of the game. It's the stuff that happens in the games, which is lots of laughs, and it's probably some of the most fun games I've ever had, to be completely honest. And I've had some fun games. These are just great. But the fact that we're command re-rolling Deadly Demise, just things going off, things dying when they shouldn't, charges happening when they should. It's just been a ton of fun. And I can only, and that's having a good gaming partner or person or group to be with, which is one of those things that I'm really glad that I've gotten back into in the area here, getting some games in. I'm gonna try and get some more in. My friend is actually very busy right now doing other stuff, but we'll get some games in probably in August again. But it's been a lot of fun. There's other people I'm trying to reach out with. Again, making schedules work can be tough. But that's sort of what I've been doing hobby-wise. Trying to get my head back. And even I think the greatest compliment I got was from this friend of mine. And he said at the end of our last game, he's like, you have come so far in a short period of time. From when you first started to now, you're remembering the rules. And honestly, that is, again, to give credit to my friend. That's because of the games he played, him putting up with my silly questions, remembering rules wrong. It's been so much fun, and he has definitely been an amazing teacher. So that kudos to my friend there for that. In terms of hobby-wise, that's kind of everything that's been going on. Very, very busy. I've had a few games. I can't wait to have more. Speaking of my Black Templars, I am super stoked for the new codex. I will be picking that up. And of course, these new models, that Ancient looks fantastic. I know some people had some issues with it. That model screams Black Templars. Everything about that is just perfect for Black Templars. And even going back to basically 4th edition. 4th edition, that's one of my favorite editions. I've said that before, but because of the character they brought in. And that's when they made Black Templars, the Black Templars we know today. If you went before that, even you went to the Armageddon Codex, Black Templars were cool. They had their own special rules, that the beginnings of those rules they have now. But basically they were just Marines painted black with white pauldrons and their special Black Templar cross. And there was really nothing. And of course they had the Emperor's Children on. But other than that, they were just Space Marines painted black. They had nothing that made them stand out the way they did. Obviously 4th edition changed that. That's when we got the first Black Templar kit. And all of a sudden you had the chain swords and the power weapons and the bolters with the chains linked on the arms. We got the sort of knightly helms, and all the symbols and the banners were different. I mean, it's sword brethren all of a sudden, and special models just for that. Very definitely gave them a ton of character. So that ancient looks amazing. We just today, as this is Monday, as the today when I'm doing this video, we saw the new chaplain, which looks amazing, and the fact that he can have the Crozius Arcanum and a power weapon, or different heads, just looks great. Again, very characterful, and I can't wait for the codex. I'll definitely be picking that up. For my army, it'll probably stay mostly the same. I shouldn't say I know. I'm heavily guessing that the Crusader squads as they are now will probably disappear. They'll go to, well, they won't disappear, they'll go to Legends, which is, I mean, it's happened to pretty much all the other Space Marine stuff. It'll go to Legends, and I'll have to pick up a new Crusader squad, and that they look pretty cool. I'm definitely going to be picking up that Ancient and that Chaplain, because I need another HQ choice for my army, or character, as we call them now, right? So that's definitely on my list. Of course, I got to keep painting my Ultramarines when I have time. I definitely want to get all the stuff that hasn't been painted to make my Ultramarines bigger. The other thing that I'm just trying to remember, I had the big project, and it's something that's been going on for years now. It is, I'm putting the kibosh on it. It's just something that's just too big for the room I have right now. Once it's built and put together, it's just too big. So I'm going to be getting rid of that. It was going to be this sort of quarter of a circle that goes all the way up, smaller levels, and I was going to have a whole sort of hive theme to it, but I just don't have the room for it. Don't have the time. I have another project I'm working on, and it goes back to the 3D printing thing. So I'm basically going to be making a fully 3D printed Imperial Guard army based around the Mobian 21st. I already have the beginnings of it. I still have a lot more printing to do. It's just going to be a fun thematic army. I'm not going to take it to any tournaments. I might play games with it with friends, like as I have, but it's just something that seems really cool. I found some cool proxies for Sentinels. I printed off a ton of Guardsmen. That works. The big thing is they all have the closed-in helmets with the rebreathers, the goggles, which is something that the Mobian 21st is known for. They have all so that is going to be the new big project that I hope to work over time. Speaking of Dark Tide, I've been playing a ton of that too. That's sort of been my proxy hobbying time. I've got a level 30 vet right now, and I'm trying to master all the different weapons. If you haven't played Dark Tide, I suggest you go out, get it, play it. Today, again, they dropped the new Adeptus Arbites DLC. I haven't purchased that yet. That looks really cool. However, they did do another update which sort of streamlined the whole story. It was sort of all over the place as you played missions. Basically, you are a reject, as they're called, a criminal who's been taken in by a inquisitorial warband, and you and 3 other rejects, and you can have things like, this is sort of for people who haven't played it. You have a veteran, you have a psyker, you have a zealot, and of course the big guys, the Ogrins. You have different abilities, you can take different weapons, you can master them. Right now I'm actually fighting around with a Catachan devil sword and the bolt pistol. Bolt pistols are great. Of course, my favorite weapon in there is the bolter. Gotta have a bolter. Good with bolters. They're great for taking down the big guys and crowd clearing. I love bolt weapons. Play Space Marines, of course I do. But now, originally you sort of just did whatever missions you want. Some told stories, but it was a rather not very cohesive story. What they've done is added a campaign now, where it lets you unlock things. It also gives you a full story. They've added things like after battle reports where the characters talk to you to tell you what you've done, how it changes the outcome of this battle for Hive Tertium on the planet of Atoma. And so it's a lot of fun. I started redoing that. I kind of decided, you know what, it's time to go in and try the way they've changed the campaign. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool fluff in there, a lot of cool story. They're adding, and there's a lot of secrets. Of course, when the Inquisition's involved in anything 40k, there's always secrets and hidden storylines, and it's still trying to build the story of what's really going on this planet. We know who the bad guys are. We kind of know who the good guys are, but there's still a lot we don't know, and it's really cool to kind of uncover the story as you go along, while you're basically just wailing your way through all sorts of things, from poxwalkers to plague ogrins and beasts of Nurgle. Just lots of crazy stuff in there. It's a lot of fun. So that's sort of been my other proxy hobby thing. Other than that, that's kind of it. So some big decisions made. I played some games, hope to play some more. And just trying to stay positive, which is sort of comes to the last thing I want to talk about, because it's something that's been rather important to me. I've been thinking about a lot, especially with a loss in the family that we had, and how it just, that sort of affected my kids, and myself, and extended parts of the family. It is obviously Men's Mental Health Month. I know there's other things going on in June. A lot happens in June now. It's different organizations, but for me, the men's mental health is really, really important. Something that I've struggled with. I know members of this community have struggled with. We've lost people in this community due to the mental health stuff. And it's very sad. And I don't want to get too preachy, but it's definitely something that we should all take seriously. I don't mean to drag down the video, but it's something you need to take seriously. So if you are having difficulties, and I have great difficulty with this, my brain is my own worst enemy. There's a lot of times where I want to reach out to people and I don't, because my own mind goes, don't. They'll see you as a burden. You don't want to bother them. They probably don't even want to talk to you. And that's something that I struggle with a lot. I can't tell you the number of times that I've deleted text messages, DMs, emails, comments in videos, going, hey, you know, I am trying to reach out and make a connection, which everybody wants to do. And I haven't, because in my own mind, it goes, no, you don't want to burden them. They don't want to hear about you. So if you're having troubles, reach out to somebody, talk to somebody, anybody, let them know how you're feeling. And it can be very, very difficult, but do it. And even if you're not in that position, reach out to your buddies, reach out to your brothers, whether it's familiar or in the sense of a Space Marine chapter. Reach out to your brothers, make sure they're okay. Ask them, hey man, how's it going? How you feeling? I notice you've been down. I notice you've been quiet. I notice you haven't been your normal self. Reach out and help each other, and ignore the negativity. I know every time something comes up like this, there's always people spreading their own special hate and bile all over there. Ignore them. Reach out to the people you care about, because this is, I want us all to make it through this. I know the last 4 or 5 years have been an absolute crazy mess, from pandemics to money issues to mental health issues to everything that's going on in the world. It can all seem very heavy and very negative, but you need to reach out. Whether you're reaching out for a hand or you're trying to extend a hand to somebody, keep those lines of communication open. Keep checking up on each other, because we all need each other. We're all important in this, and the community can only get better if we start helping each other. I'm gonna end it there. I'm not trying to end on a sour or sullen note, but just everything's going on, the month it is, I wanted to make sure that everybody, I got that message out. I really want to have everybody happy and healthy, and we go into the summer lifting everybody up. It'd be really great. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for putting up with the hiatus I went on, regardless of, I mean, it was unintentional, but you know, things happen. If you want, hit the like button, share it with your friends, follow along. I'd love to see more people here. I'd love to see you guys, and let me know, you know, put anything you want down below. Let me know how you feel about Mental Health Month. Let me know about your favorite hobby thing that you've put up. Let me know of any cool projects you're working on, just let me know. Let's keep talking. As always, guys, keep rolling those dice. I'll see you later. Bye.